Lock in America! It's time for Straight Talk! This is the Wayne Dupree Podcast, hosted by Wayne Dupree, with co-host Jason Robertson, delivering powerful opinions, arty debates on politics, entertainment, and the hottest stories. No spin, just honest takes and real conversation! The Wayne Dupree Podcast is lit! Let's get into it right now.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. My name is Wayne Dupree, and we are live here on the Dupree Report. It is June 17th, 2026, 12 p.m. I still don't see my mic on here. Let's see if that works. And we're happy to have each and every one of you. The people watching us on Rumble and YouTube and Facebook, I think, too. Really trying to get over together. Oh, there it is. Testing 1, 2. There we go.
Oh, much better.
For the awesome thousands that are listening to us on the podcast, I really appreciate, we really appreciate y'all tuning in to the show. Today's our Friday, your Wednesday. We broadcast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday now. We have jobs. We have to make some money, and the podcast isn't doing it. So we have got to survive, right? We got to survive. So you can watch us on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Getter. We will get Getter straight. We don't have LinkedIn, but you can also download us on your favorite podcast platform. That's right. You can listen to us while you're driving. You can listen to us at night. You can listen to us in the morning, early in the morning, if you have that early morning shift. But again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Now, we have Mr. Jason Robinson from Minnesota. What's up, Jason?
Hey, folks. Happy hump day. Welcome to the Wayne Dupree Podcast. As always. Oh, you can't hear me?
Can't hear you.
Oh, my microphone is enabled.
Can y'all hear him? Because I can't hear him.
Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Giddy up. Well, I was just going to say welcome to the Wayne Dupree Podcast. Hit the like, comment, and share button. I'll give the chat a minute to catch up. And
me.
Becky or Mark will let me. Oh, it was you?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay. Becky can hear me. All right. Well, as I was saying, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Wayne Dupree Podcast. As always, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share, help show get reach, and so much fun stuff going on.
All right. Let me see. As you know, something in today's headline. Okay.
This FISA thing's kind of funny.
Huh?
This FISA thing that was in the cryon. That was kind of.
Oh, yeah.
That whole story was great.
Something today's headlines drove something home for me. The minute that Iran deal hit the wires, oil swung, markets jumped, gold climbed to or near 1 week high. That's the pattern. When the world gets shaky, gold doesn't flinch the way paper does. Look, we're not here to scare you. We're not here to make you go to the bathroom in your pants or anything like that. We want to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals because a lot of people trust this company. Thousands of people have given them 5-star reviews. They have a A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They have a AAA from the Business Consumer Alliance. And a 4.9 out of 5 across the board on those reviews that I was telling you about. When our national debt gets where it is, the dollar gets squeezed, and so does your savings. So does your retirement. That's why we kind of talk or push you through to, well, actually, we don't push, we just point you to. And if you want to go there, you can go to Augusta Precious Metals. Just check out waynesgold.com or text Wayne to 35052. You can go to waynesgold.com or text Wayne to 35052. You need to protect what you built. You don't want to leave this place. You don't want to leave this mortal coil and not have your family taken care of. You might be like Elon Musk, but you want to take care of your family. So make sure that you check out waynesgold.com or text Wayne to 35052. Jason alluded to the 702 for the first time since it was created in 2008. FISA Section 702, the warrantless Foreign Surveillance Authority lapsed when Congress left town without renewing it. The fight isn't really about surveillance. It's about a hostage standoff over one personnel pick, one of Trump's personnel pick, I think. And here's a twist. Here's a major twist that many of y'all, especially if you watch or listen to the Dupree Report, many of you understand this. Surveillance doesn't stop. The spying hasn't stopped. I mean, no matter what they say, the NSA is still listening, and the CIA is still doing their thing, and the FBI says everybody's doing their thing. They might not be getting a lot of more money for it, but they're still doing their thing. So, according to The Hill, reporting on June 11th, the House failed to pass even a short-term extension of 702, 218 to 198. 19 Republicans voted against it. Only 7 Democrats voted for it. It needed 2/3 supermajority under a fast-track rules system, but it wasn't even close. If you saw Mike Johnson called out the Democrats. Didn't say nothing. That video had nothing about the Republicans that jumped over. I was shocked. 19 Republicans sided with the Democrats. Crazy. According to NBC News and NPR, this was the first time Section 702 has lapsed, like I said, since 2008. The government says more than 60% of the president's daily briefing relies on information collected under this authority. I bet you dollars to donuts, he's still getting his intelligence reports. They have to. He's the president of the United States. But when I say that, that said that the president's daily intelligence reports briefing, I don't think the president is supposed to be getting intelligence briefings on Americans. I mean, and Pfizer, Pfizer has something to do with Americans, I think. I'm gonna hand it over to you in a second, but I think Pfizer got something to do with Americans. It ain't got nothing to do with what's happening over in foreign countries. They do what they do. The American government does what they want to do over in other countries to get intel. That they've been doing that for decades, almost damn near a century. Okay, so he gonna get his intelligence reports over there. It's just that the U.S. government, with this Pfizer thing back in Obama's time, decided that they were going to do this Pfizer thing and start ramping up and getting information on Americans. Yes, and Congress passed it. Power, man. Power corrupts. So, again, if you've been watching or listening to this show, you know that once a government official or a president or a agency pushes that lever and takes away a freedom, they rarely ever give it back. So if they're going to be spying on Americans, Sure, they come out and tell you. We stopped that program in 2000. Let's see, 2010. Madam Secretary, we stopped that program. Are the batteries still running? Okay, thanks. We stopped that program in 2010. That program no longer exists. What you're hearing is basically noise that the program is continuing, but we're not getting funded. It's not funded. Hell no, it's not funded. Well, actually, it might be funded by another name.
Black budget.
It might be funded by the Girl Scouts security, national security blanket over America, but it's not being funded by the original name. But it's going to be funded. That's just how they roll. But yeah, I mean, look, and another thing too. I think this was one thing that many on the right side of politics was against. They were against the FISA thing. That's what I thought, that they were against this surveillance. I know Rand Paul was. I know some people in the Senate was. Wait, did Rand Paul vote against this? So
there's so many twists and turns.
Yeah. This thing is. This thing is. It's been kept quiet because of not kept quiet. It's been shoved into a corner, and really nobody's really talking about it. And that's why probably nothing has been done yet. But I know President Trump pulled his pick, though. For now, he pulled his pick until this thing gets sorted out. But according to Reuters and CNBC, the reason why the Democrats blocked it was because of Bill Pulte. Democrats won't relent without a guarantee. Pulte never serves as acting DNI. Warner's own words, he conceded letting 702 lapse is dangerous. How is it dangerous? Because he's spying on America. They're spying on Americans. But this didn't have to happen. According to the Washington Times, Mike Johnson called the Democrat blockade shameful and dangerous. And he praised that there were no serious calamity on our shores. When did they catch that terrorist thing for the 1250?
A couple days ago.
Yeah, and dude, they're still watching. They're still listening. They, come on, y'all. Jason, go ahead.
So much to unpack. I'm going to start talking about privacy, and I'm going to encourage all of our audience to just do a test. Like, we all got like Facebook on our phone, right? Uh-oh. I just want you to sit next to your spouse and talk about something like Chick-fil-A. Like, oh man, you know what? I really like Chick-fil-A. We haven't been to Chick-fil-A for a while. And then later today, log into Facebook and see your Chick-fil-A ads going across your screen. Or talk about, we need to make a garden, and then go do a search in your browser about like gardening stuff. And then, so not to discount anybody, but Big Brother is watching. So like, it's kind of entertaining. Second, the Pulte pick. I've thought this has been interesting the whole time, because Pulte probably hugely unqualified for the role they're looking to put him in temporarily, but he is really close to President Trump. And Tulsi Gabbard has been dropping some reasonable sized bombs that just haven't gained traction in the social consciousness. So I think Trump's like, I'm going to put somebody I know super loyal to me in this role. Let's see what happens. And he wants to get his nominee through. So, leveraging Pulte for that's probably fine. I'm guessing on the back end, it's like, yeah, I got time to go deal with this for a few weeks till they approve the guy, and this will help him grease his skids and get it approved. So I'm just enjoying watching that play out, because I just want to see the first Pulte tweets once he takes over, which I think somebody can fact check me, but I think it's the 19th he takes over. So
I thought he pulled Pulte though.
Didn't he? I think Pulte is still scheduled to take over temporary. It changes by the minute. But I think I was Googling a little bit before the podcast, and I believe he's still gonna take over when Tulsi steps away. And I mean, I gotta think, if you're Bill Pulte, like, you're developing properties, how cool would it be to like get the job and go, okay, bring me the UFO files. Like, I want the JFK. Like, I would love that. Give me a week or two and like, wow, look at this stuff, guys. So you got that thing cooking, and then FISA. I hate FISA. Not a FISA fan.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, your freedom-loving patriots hate FISA because they understand you don't want to give government any surveillance powers because it never goes away. It's just like when you start a government program, it never go like we go through the list all the time where they, you start here and then you end up way over here. And FISA has been one of those, and it's gone through some iterations. The big problem in general, we need something like FISA to make it more streamlined for the intelligence community to target foreign nationals who are targeting America, because a lot of people around the world hate us. And we also have allowed a bunch of them in there. Shout out to Mongol Moon for kind of breaking it down. Wayne's going to listen to that soon. But we've allowed a lot of these foreign nationals in, so there should be a way for us to do that. But the problem is, when foreign nationals are interacting with Americans, now you're also surveilling Americans. And there are a ton of FISA abuses because it's all done in secret. Like, nobody can see anything. You can't Freedom of Information Act any of it. It is the black box. So I'll be fascinated to see how it comes out. I mean, I think I've accepted the fact that like your privacy is pretty limited in America nowadays, unless you're going to live off grid and, mail paper checks and, watch TV on your rabbit ears. But I don't like giving the government power. I want that continue to be shrank. And right now, just to kind of explain where it appears FISA is at, is it expired a few days ago. So all the existing warrants that have been issued are still active. They can still use those. They just can't get new ones approved. So the deep state, the government actors, some may be well-intended where they're like, hey, this helps us stop terrorism. Some are just like, hey, we love giving the deep state power. And so I think this is one of those, at the end of the day, you, me, and the audience, it's not going to dramatically affect our lives. Because we're surveilled so much anyways.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, it's status quo. They're gonna. I mean, it's affecting, but most people don't know about it. So
Right.
meaning that it's affecting because they're listening in. They're watching us, they're monitoring us, they're using radio waves through the walls, news guard, their facial recognition, all that stuff. They're still doing it. It's and to that point, it's semi affecting us, but it's really not affecting us, like Jay said. I mean, most of y'all woke up this morning, you didn't even think about it. You didn't somebody's listening. And be careful what you say when you wake up first thing in the morning, because it'll probably show up on your phone, like Jason said.
Right. Well, what's interesting too is probably the American who had the greatest FISA abuse committed against them was Donald Trump. They used FISA, Carter Page, spying his campaign, all that stuff. And Donald Trump has come out and said he supports FISA. And now he's trying to leverage FISA to pass the SAVE Act, saying, if you want this, you got to give me that. Which, who knows? I would be shocked if they find a way to get the SAVE Act passed. But when Donald Trump came out and said that, I'm like, wow, this is a guy who's been more negatively impacted by FISA than probably any American. And now he can see the benefits on the backside, what FISA has allowed people the intelligence community to save us from, and he supports it. So I think for those who like watching politics and all the gamesmanship, I think this whole scenario between Pulte and FISA is kind of a fascinating thing to watch. But like I say, when you roll out of bed tomorrow, if FISA passed or didn't pass, I don't think it's going to dramatically affect your life.
No. because business as usual in DC. Question for the audience: if the surveillance keeps running under a court order anyway, what exactly did letting the law expire accomplish? For either side. Again, if the surveillance, like I think, and I'm sure Jason thinks, keeps running under a court order anyway, what exactly did letting the law expire? What did that accomplish? So yeah.
I think where it's really troubling too is, in general, progressive policies continue to push the envelope, and it's the old, you give them an inch, they take a mile. That's their name. Progressive is let's keep going, and like I like to point to gay marriage. Back in the day it was, hey, gays just want to get married because they want to visit their spouse in the hospital. Oh, okay, great. And then you give them that, and then all of a sudden now you've got, well, you have to gender affirm your kids, and it's just been such a slippery slope. They start a government benefit program, and Social Security, it was designed for war widows. Now it indirectly gives money to illegal aliens. It's there is no limiting principle on the government, and so tools like this are best not in place.
Civil rights. they basically said civil rights. So that shocked a lot of people when they did that too. All right, now civil rights, when they started pushing civil rights for themselves. They rode on the back of the civil rights movement to get everything that they have right now. The marriage and that partner. Somebody gets sick, like you just said, they start pushing their civil rights through Congress and through Supreme Court. They use that as they were a person type thing.
Yeah, it created another protected class, which the whole thing's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. According to CNN and Al Jazeera, President Trump and Vice President Vance digitally signed the memorandum of understanding. Iran's parliament speaker, I can't say that word, but it's a Muhammad, signed for Tehran. The deal ends the U.S. naval blockade, reopens the Strait of Hormuz, and starts a 60-day window to negotiate Iran's nuclear program. The timeline, according to the AP, is the formal ceremony set for Friday in Switzerland. President Trump said that he wouldn't attend in person. Markets liked it. Oil hit a 3-month low. Brent down toward $83 to $84 a barrel. Gold rose 2.7% to about $4,334 an ounce, a near 1-year high. We told you about Augusta Precious Metals. As recession and rate fears eased. Okay, now, according to the AP, June 17th, the interim deal leaves the thorniest issue that still needs to be negotiated, which is Iran's nuclear program. The memorandum of understanding, which has been, it came out, I forgot what the name of the website is. I probably couldn't say it anyway. Al Arabia, I guess that's how you say it, got their hands on the memo of understanding. But since then, everybody's got their hands on the memo of understanding, including Fox News. Fox News was Brian Kilmeade gave his disgust, or his not disgust. Disgust is a big word. He didn't like what he saw. But like I said at the beginning of the week, and I hadn't even seen the memo, but Iran put Lebanon or Hezbollah, both of them together, in there as a poison pill because they know that Israel can't leave Lebanon alone. And I think maybe if more people start waking up to that, then they understand maybe if you ever hear about this thing, it's not worth the paper that it's written on. That I think that's what this is. And they're just waiting for Israel to hit Lebanon or just a missile. Or maybe if they just slap somebody wrong, they're just waiting. So they can say, okay, all this is for nothing. The MOU maintains that the status quo of Iran's nuclear program does not explicitly bar enrichment. Now, Trump claims it gets 99.9% of the way to stopping an Iranian bomb. According to the note, the deal floats a $300 billion restructuring fund for Iran. Now, Trump says the U.S. won't pay into it, but can't stop Gulf partners from doing so. Critics say lifting oil export waivers and unfreezing Iranian funds hands Tehran an economic lifeline before it concedes anything on the nuclear file. That's something that I had found out last night is that this happens before the 60 days before they come to an agreement in 60 days. And that's where some of the people, for the people that are listening to the program, if you are listening or you're following or you're researching anything about this, you are seeing that some of the people, and I think that's what Brian Kilmeade was talking about this morning, is that they're getting something before they agree to anything on the nuclear side. And I think President Trump said, that they're going to be allowed to pump oil or they're going to be allowed to do their oil and get paid before they even come to any conclusion on the nuclear side. One of the sticklers about this is Israel said that it won't pull back from border regions and reserves the right to hit Hezbollah. I knew that. Netanyahu, Netanyahu shut out of the. I saw this morning. Netanyahu asked to see the Netanyahu wanted to see the document. President Trump said no.
Right. I think Donald Trump's kind of done with old Benji.
He said no.
He's like, it's not your deal.
He's like, you want to make a deal? You want to make a deal? This is my deal. No, you can't see it. Netanyahu, who was shut out of their talk, said he and Trump do not always see eye to eye. Now, the Senate failed to advance a war powers resolution. However, Republicans, Massey, Barrett, that's in the House. Forget the House. Some of the people in the Senate want to have something to do with the deal. Some people in the Senate.
Everyone's got an opinion on this.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Y'all went to think, well, no, I can't say that. But if it's already done and they are agreeing and stuff, why y'all? Because everybody knows if the Senate touch it, they're gonna put in all types of stuff so they can get their money, their pockets greased. Sorry, NewsGuard. My opinion. They're gonna put stuff in there so they can get some money too. I bet you because there's a lot of money going back and forth with that. But yeah, that is the update right now. It is a leaked 14-point draft. Okay, it is leaked. It was first leaked by Mirror News, then a Saudi outlet. Okay, so that's a Saudi outlet, Al Arabia. Then it was picked up by Bloomberg, Fox News. Now the White House has not said that. Well, the White House has not said anything about that part. But yeah, it's there you go. And if anybody else wants to know, it's a ceasefire on all fronts. That's number one, including Lebanon. That's number one. Number two, 60 days for a final deal. Number three, reopens the Strait of Hormuz. Number four, 300 billion reconstruction fund. The U.S., together with regional partners, ensures financing, but Trump says the U.S. won't contribute, but can't stop other countries from investing. Number five, U.S. commits to ending all types of sanctions. That's something else that Kilmeade was not happy about. UN, IAEA, and unilateral U.S. sanctions, but only as a part of the final agreement. Oil export waivers immediate. Unlike most sanctions relief, Treasury would right away issue waivers for Iranian crude, petrochemicals, and related banking, insurance, transport. There's another thing that Kilmeade had a problem with. Unfreezes Iranian funds. Leaked draft puts it at 24 billion within 60 days. Half released before follow-on talks. That was number 7. Number 8, Iran commits to no nuclear weapons. Tehran, that's number 8. Tehran affirms it won't build a bomb. A commitment it also made under Obama's era JCPOA. The fate of its weapons-grade uranium stockpile is left to the final deals. Number 9, status quo on the nuclear program. And number 10, final deal goes to the UN Security Council. You give me $24 billion. I already said, if I was Iran, you give me $24 billion. You're not going to see gold-plated streets. You're not going to see the cleanliest area around, because all that money is going to my weapons program. Sorry, people. That's just the truth. But yeah, it is a 14-point plan, but I gave you about the top 10. Yeah.
Again, the White House is saying that that's not the deal. So who knows? Who knows what the real deal is? I just need to make a couple points on this. This Iranian war has been pretty enlightening, and some of the takeaways are going to be, for me, first, the Persian people do not want to really rise up and overthrow the Iranian regime.
Nope.
I think going in, there was this optimistic hope from all of us that there was enough good people in Iran that are like, we got to get rid of these guys. And Trump blew the hell out of a bunch of them. And I mean, there was some activity, but nowhere near enough to result in overthrowing the Ayatollahs and whatnot. So short of us putting boots on the ground, which I am not a fan of, that will not happen in the near future. Like, the people of Iran never had a better opportunity than now, where they could have mobilized a movement to overthrow the government. They probably would have got some international support. So going forward, we kind of know that. Second, Israel's not going to stop until they pick fights with everybody and take over land and do all the things. So, I mean, there's that. And just as we look at Israel and United States relations going forward, understand that's their goal. And, who am I to criticize what their goal is or isn't? The third thing, Trump's maintained pretty steady in, I just want him not to have nukes. And I think everybody can agree, right, left, center, Iran having nukes would be a bad thing. Like, nukes would be used, which none of us want. And then kind of the final point that will be interesting is Donald Trump, when he did all these moves, and his international approach is creating financial incentive for countries to work together, because if they both have an incentive, then the idea is they quit killing each other. And he's trying to apply that logic to Iran, which will be fascinating to see how it shakes out. Like, these reserve funds, what his commentary has been is that, if they're going to work with the United Arab Emirates to do something and behave, the United Arab Emirates can then invest in the country and help them build up infrastructure. And if they're a-holes and not doing it or not following through, then the United Arab Emirates won't give money back. Now, I don't know how you can enter into that agreement with Iran because they're crazy. They just want to blow up the world and, take over the Middle East, all those things. So it'll be interesting to see how the deal shakes out. I am pessimistic that I think Trump's at this point just looking for an exit strategy. And I think crude oil was down in the 70s yesterday. And I think Trump's like, okay, the Iranian people aren't going to rise up. So they're not going to overthrow the government. I'm not sending U.S. troops into Iran. I'm going to do the best deal I can to get nukes off the table, and then however the deal shakes out, I think he'll be pretty good with it. Like I say, my only concern is the whole if you behave, you can have some support economically, because I just don't think Iran will behave.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't, and I'm sure Israel won't behave either. And I think you are going to be seeing a lot of Middle East conferences in the next year or so. Jay talked about the countries working together and stuff. I think Iran is going to invite. I'm sure they're going to invite a whole lot of the countries around them for a conference, or they're going to attend a whole lot of conferences and stuff, and they are going to try to work out a deal. And they're going to paint the United States in a bad light, because basically they've done so much damage to U.S. assets all around that country. It's going to take so many billions of dollars just to put American assets back in those countries, if those countries want American assets. That's another thing that's going to have to be checked, because as they are talking to the United States about rebuilding those assets, you have to now watch what Israel is going to do in that area. Because if you've ever heard anything about putting a muzzle on a dog, and I know that's a bad thing, especially for dog lovers, but Trump's gonna have to put a leash on that puppy. If there's really going to be peace in the Middle East, he's really going to have to tamp down on Israel. He's got to. If not, you're looking at some biblical stuff getting ready to happen.
Well, and I got to say too, I mean, I'm pretty down off and on Israel, but if I'm Israel sitting next to the crazies in Iran, I would have a way different opinion than sitting over in America, and I think one of my big takeaways the further this goes, there really isn't enough of an appetite in Iran to get normal people in charge of their country. And, we're going to just keep dealing with insane people. So the question is, do we want to wipe them out and then deal with whatever comes next? Or do we want to try to find a way to let them function? So.
Yeah. And I think I said this yesterday too. They have so many armies over there. Iraq had it. Iran has it. Syria has it. Everybody talked about Syria's large army. They got all these large armies over there, and they put on the Great Parade. One thing we know is they know how to march, but they don't know how to fight. For real, they really don't. Especially when the United States comes in or whatnot. You saw Iraq lay down their weapons.
Yep.
They didn't even put up a fight. Oh, you want to know where Hassan's sons?
He's over there. Go get him.
Yep. Yeah. And they didn't even get mad when Hussein's son got killed. Just put him on the table and put a camera over there. See, they dead. Look, they dead. Yeah.
Can I just dovetail a bit too? If we're taking away nuclear weapons from countries and with Iran, can we take away nuclear weapons from the UK? Like, I think England is losing their
Yeah.
right to have nuclear weapons.
Do they? Well, yeah. You know what? Nobody really talks about that, though. Nobody really talks
Yeah, I
about
mean,
Europe,
I don't know.
about the
Did you
UK
see
having
that
nuclear weapons.
Did you see that rape gang inquiry document that came out? It's like 250 pages.
No.
If you haven't, folks, I would encourage you to take a little time. It's a big document, but it chronicles all these rape gangs that are happening in the UK
Oh,
and
rape gang. Rape
and
gang. Okay.
yeah, and I mean, it sounds like the total numbers in the report is like 250,000 girls have been subject to this, and they let in, a lot of the Muslims who view white people as a subhuman, in many cases, and the things that happen to these citizens in England are just horrific, and then nobody's getting punished, and they just keep inviting more Muslims in, but um and they're not bringing in the best, as you can see, and it's reaching such a tipping point over there. At some point in our lifetime, I think we're going to have the conversation, should an Islamic England have nuclear weapons? I don't even know.
They believe me. A whole lot of these people should be. I mean, and I don't think Pakistan. Look, Pakistan and India right next to each other, but both of them got nuclear weapons, and they're always like.
Well, the good news is they're just going to blow each other up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That's
the
true.
nuclear weapon the Indians drop on us is they send us their population to destroy the country, but they don't actually send the weapon.
John Thune, told you, man. Caesar had the Senate. Trump got one too. Senate Majority Leader said on Tuesday, yesterday, the conference does not have enough votes to bypass the filibuster to pass the SAFE Act, Save American Act. The only way you get it, the only way you can get this done is to nuke the legislative filibuster, and that is not something that we have anywhere close to the votes to do, is what Thune told Brett Baer on Special Report. Now, President Trump has made the SAVE Act one of his top legislative priorities for months, and has called on the GOP senators to scrap their regular filibuster. The 60 vote threshold vote threshold to pass most legislation in the upper chamber is what they're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The SAVE Act proposes requiring Americans to provide proof of citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. The House passed the bill in February, but it was stalled in the Senate over the unwillingness from some Republicans to change filibuster rules. Now, in recent days, President Trump has tied the SAVE Act to another of his priorities, which is extension of FISA, the latter, which we talked about earlier. FISA, which provides the federal government the ability to conduct warrantless surveillance of foreign nationals, lapsed last week after the Democrats said, we don't want Bill Pulte to serve as the acting director of national intelligence. And see, I thought they had pulled Pulte, but they actually, President Trump paused the confirmation process for federal prosecutor Jay Clayton to be director until Congress approves FISA and the voting bill. Trump basically said, quote, I will not approve FISA without the Save American Act going along with it. Somebody's gonna fold on that one. Right?
Yeah, I mean, let us know in the comments.
Somebody's gonna fold on that one.
Let us know in the comments. Like, the vast majority of Americans agree some version of the SAVE Act needs to happen. I mean, you need to have federal guidelines. I mean, these states counting votes for years. just automatically mailing in, making it like ridiculously easy. Like, do we think in the remaining part of Trump's term we're going to get any sort of election integrity bill with any teeth passed, whether it's a SAVE Act or something else? I personally don't think the House and Senate will support it. I think the people in there in on the game, and they're just not going to do it. Trump's going to try everything he can to get it passed, and he's shooking and jiving, trying to get a deal done, but there's only so much he can do. The Republicans are going to obstruct it. Not enough people are going to vote for it, which is tragic because, it's funny. It wouldn't be so important for election integrity if the government didn't have such unrestrained power and didn't have such a control over what's happening in Americans' lives. And I think, why was some of that stuff not built into the Constitution? Because they never envisioned this government existing. They like, this was never how it was supposed to be. And your most of your functions were supposed to be handled at the state level, if and then the federal levels, like, we're going to make sure we keep the nation safe. That was like it. And we've come so far. What happens in an election in Georgia affects me in Minnesota, which it shouldn't have really had that much of an impact on me. So I personally am becoming pretty pessimistic that we get any sort of election integrity stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, me, the pessimist. They ain't gonna get it done because they don't want it done. They don't want it done.
Right.
It makes a whole lot of money because it's not done. It makes a whole lot of money when you can argue about it. But what's the old saying? Don't talk about it unless you want to be about it. They don't want to be about it. They don't want to be about it. They don't want to fix it, because if they fix it, they don't have jobs. Election integrity. What? If that happens, we won't be here.
It's kind of like abortion on the Democrat side. Abortion, Democrats have run on forever, and they've had the ability to pass abortion laws, and they just never did. And they like to get it fired up. It's a big fundraising mechanism for it. It mobilizes their base.
And it really wasn't a law in the first place. I don't think.
It was a Supreme Court ruling.
A Supreme Court ruling, right? Congress never passed a law.
Right.
Yeah. It was never an amendment or anything like that. But the way that it was processed through the media and stuff like that, everybody thought it was a law. It's legal. Well, actually, according to the Supreme Court, but Supreme Court can't write law. We hear that all the time, right? Supreme Court can't write law.
Which was why Roe versus Wade got overthrown, is because the previous Supreme Court, when they ruled on Roe, tried to write a law. They tried to make something exist that didn't exist. And like I say, if you're a Democrat voter watching the show who's really passionate about abortion, this just in, like, they're not going to pass that law. It's too much of a moneymaker for them. And election integrity is quickly becoming that on the Republican side. If you sign up for all the fundraising texts and messages and emails, even from people who aren't going to be there when needed, like, you'll get messages like, oh, we need to get a Republican majority so we can pass the SAVE Act. And it's like, yeah, you guys, it's just not going to happen. I don't think. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope Trump finds a way to get it done. If he does, it would be one of the most important things he's done in his 2 presidencies. Because there are so many shenanigans about the elections. And even if it's all legit, right? Let's say there's no fraud or whatnot. Too many Americans don't believe in elections. And at some point that just ends poorly.
And I think, barbershop talk, a lot of reasons why they don't believe in it is because things don't, because the situations that are happening on the ground and in communities and different stuff, all those promises, they don't get fixed. They don't get fixed. And why would you want the federal government to fix it in the first place? Because that's not their job. However, the United States has been lulled into that idea that the U.S. government is supposed to be fixing stuff that's happening in the community, and it's not. And most of the lawmakers know it. They know it. But they get up there and they say, oh, we're going to fight for America. No, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to represent your state interests. That's it. Represent your state interests. Like I remember Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, yeah, we're going up here. We're going to do this because America sent us up here. No, Georgians sent you up there.
Speaking of which, how crazy has Marjorie Taylor Greene turned into?
What? What'd she say?
She's been tweeting up a storm. She's took her boat ride. Now, there's I'd have to pull it up. I'm going to misquote it, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is anti-Trump. They betrayed us. All these sort of things. It's like, what did you think you were getting into, March? Like, I mean, this is what's fascinating for us to get the government change. Like, we're kind of like Iran at this point, where the Iranian people need to rise up to have a governmental change in Iran, and the Iranian people are not going to rise up. We're starting to reach the point with some of this stuff that we're not going to be able to vote our way out of this. So we all have to decide, are we okay with that or are we not? And if enough of us aren't okay with it, then dramatic things will change. If we win midterms and Trump is not able to push things through in these last 2 years, like, it's been the best opportunity in a generation for us to really make significant changes. And I legitimately believe Donald Trump's trying, but I also legitimately believe they're not going, like, the rest of our elected officials aren't going along with it.
Yeah. Real quick, China has announced, what was this? 4 hours ago, China announced it will send a round of humanitarian aid to Lebanon and Iran and play an active role in fostering regional peace. The foreign minister spokesman described Beijing as deeply saddened by the humanitarian disaster. Tell you what, somebody on our side better do something. That's all I'm saying. Somebody on our side better do. Somebody on our side better do something, because the perception of, we know who China is. We know who the CCP is. We know who the Republic is. We know, but when the angel of light comes across with playing an active role under the banner of fostering regional peace, looking pretty, it can blind a whole lot of people. It can blind a lot of people. And that's, I had the word of caution when Biden was president, and I was saying that we need to do something because everybody was going to China. Everybody was bowing, or everybody was courtesying or whatever. They were doing all that stuff to Xi. He was shaking all those hands, putting ports in all those countries, influence, China's influence and stuff. China got buku interest over there. And we didn't do nothing. For 4 years, we didn't do nothing. That's a head start that I wouldn't let any basketball team have on me, any football team have on me. Somebody in the United States got to do something. That's what I got to say about it.
We have our own communist problem in America. But yes, you're right. There's also a communist problem. McCarthy was right. He didn't go far enough.
Yeah. And it looked like the socialist mayor is going to be the choice for the Democrats in DC. I read that this morning, right?
Oh, you mean the nominee for mayor?
Yeah, the socialist mayor, yeah.
Oh, I got to look that up. I haven't followed that one. I know Bowser's out.
Yeah. That's the one President Trump said if she wins that he was thinking about taking over DC if she wins.
We should already take over DC.
It looks like she's going to win her nominee in the primary, and she'll be running down there. I don't know what happened in Georgia. Was it Georgia? Alabama. Georgia. I don't know what happened in there, but Keisha Bottoms, I think she was the mayor down there. Looks like she's going to be the Democrat nominee. And then you got a billionaire on the Republican side who was running against one of Trump's picks and beat Trump's picks. According to the polling down there, it looks like it's sort of like a dead heat or something between both of them. Maybe if Trump's pick probably would have won, the Republicans would have been a little leg up on Keisha Bottoms. Keisha Bottoms usually shows up on CNN here and there across from Scott Jennings, but I don't know. Georgia. Yeah.
Georgia is a joke.
Believe me, Georgia's not on my mind. All right, Jason, give me some last thoughts. Let's get out of here.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in this week. We appreciate it. We love hanging out with you guys every day. Todd and I will be hanging out on Friday if anybody's around. Check us out over there. But as always, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. It helps show get reach. Second thought, if you want to be black-pilled, go ahead and read, check out that rape gang report. Like, the document's been released. It's very long. It will put in a lot of context what's happening and what the future holds in America. And the crimes you'll read about, the things you'll see are pretty horrific, but that will be blackpilling. Final thought, if you haven't planned something fun this weekend, get out, touch grass, barbecue. We got the grandbaby for an overnight this weekend. So
getting big, man. She getting big.
Dude, she's almost 2.
Dude, and, she looks like she looks like she's like you can put her behind the wheel of a car and let her drive.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, yeah. I remember when she was like this in the pictures, and now all of a sudden, boy, she's sitting up in the back seat reading the newspaper. Grandma, take a picture of me. You know, I'm like, wow, look at her.
She's a big girl, and I got to say, for anybody who's had a difficult time with kids, grandkids make it all worth it. Like, get to the grandbaby phase, you're gonna love it. But yeah, so we'll be hanging out doing some fun grandbaby stuff.
Again, I second that what JR's talking about. I've been seeing some things happening with the veterans, and stuff. And I actually, happy Father's Day on Sunday.
Oh yeah, Sunday.
Happy Father's Day. I got to go to the VA on Father's Day. Didn't know that they were open on Sunday, but I'm going to be going to the VA to get ultrasound. So go and check that out. On Sunday. Yep. Sunday morning.
Wild.
Yeah. It's one of those things. You want to get treated, you got to do the ultrasound. But the ultrasound that we have for you probably wouldn't be until maybe the beginning of September or October. But we do have an opening on Sunday. What? I do Sunday. I do Sunday.
You go to church and then you go to get your ultrasound?
Yeah, go to church. Congress should act to care for the veterans before the election. That's all I'm saying. There's a whole lot of veterans out there, a whole lot of veterans that have come under a whole lot of housing problems lately. I'm one. And some protections were removed, I guess, in trying to get the wrong ones. But it seemed like that they got a whole lot of the wrong ones. So Congress, I know y'all really don't do anything, but y'all need to do something. Y'all need to do something to help out real veterans, because we love this country. We love it. So, all right. With that said, I have got to get something for my neck. My neck hurts so much. But
I see you've been posting about like dating and stuff. You get you a girlfriend who will rub your neck, and then
see, I knew we had to go.